In this presentation, we will look into the different possible solutions to tackle automation, along with connecting the stimulus materials, which leads to my research question. Being that the advancement of technology has replaced human labor, what are the best possible ways to support the unemployed workers in the United States? Defined by the Oxford Dictionary, automation is the use or introduction of automatic equipment in a manufacturing or other process or facility. Essentially, this definition is a reality for many American workers today who have lost their jobs to technology simply because they have failed to meet the efficient and productive standards of technology inside the workforce. According to a study at Ball State University, between the years 2000 and 2010, approximately 5.6 million manufacturing jobs were lost to automation. Maria Solis from the Brookings Institution states that we are producing more with fewer people, simply implying that technology replacing human labor has strengthened the U.S. workforce. Despite the fact that technology is more efficient, employing digital workers also costs less than paying a regular employee his or her hourly wage. Artificial intelligence, as a result, leaves many of the middle-class workers at risk of being automated. Oxford University director Carl Frey composed a study of the potential middle-class jobs being automated, which states that office jobs such as insurance workers and real estate agents have a higher than a 97% chance of being automated, inevitably threatening the middle-class workforce. To follow up with Frey's study, he states that while low-skilled jobs are at most exposed to automation over the forthcoming decades, a substantial number of middle-class jobs are equally at risk. Written by Derek Thompson, A World Without Work makes it clear that many people find their jobs unenjoyable. However, Thompson challenges the idea that when people lose their jobs to automation, are they miserable because they're not earning any money, or are they miserable because they lose their privileges of working? Being that many individuals not enjoying work could be a possible premise of automation, Thompson states that within the next decade, 47% of jobs in the U.S. will be replaceable with technological intelligence. What? Oh. In 1971, the Address to the Nation on Labor Day speech was addressed by President Richard Nixon regarding work ethic in the United States workforce. In Nixon's address, he clearly states that the country's workers' opinions and responsibilities need to be heard in order for work to be enjoyable. Adding on to his point, Nixon states that the efforts and duties of the nation's workers need to be recognized in order to further motivate the nation's workforce to continue with efficiency and productivity. Most importantly, Nixon quoted that we must make sure that technology does not dehumanize work, but makes it more creative and rewarding for the people who will operate the plants of the future. One possible solution towards solving automation is to decrease the wages. Software developer Martin Ford believes that employees need to be given a minimum, in other words, a survivable income. When workers earn a highly generous wage, they tend to work less efficiently and actively, thus leading to technology taking over jobs of the unmotivated workers. On the other hand, a lower wage could possibly push and motivate workers to work much harder and productively in addition to working for longer hours. Leader of the basic income movement, Scott Stanton, states, "It is not just a matter of needing basic income in the future, but we need it now." People don't see it, but we are already seeing the effects all around us, in the jobs and pays we take, the hours we accept. The extreme inequality is reaching, and the loss in the consumer spending power. So contrary to Ford and Stanton's beliefs, political activist Egberto Willies believes that a possible solution towards tackling automation is to increase the wages and shorten the working hours. Willies clarifies that when working hours are reduced, it allows for more people to be employed, thus allowing for a higher working opportunity. Wage increase being Willies' second criteria, it is up to the government's decision to create laws allowing wage increase, being that it is in the investor's best interest to spend less money on hiring technology in the workforce. Because when investors tend to spend less money on technology than human labor, the excess profits gained from inexpensive and efficient robots go to the investors who take advantage and benefit from technology replacing human labor. So as technology plays a significant role in many jobs today, computing jobs are amongst the highest paying jobs in the United States. And the last solution here is that schools need to educate its students on computer science. The issue is that many people today don't emphasize the fact that technology plays a crucial role in many different careers, hence the reason that human labor is being defeated by technology today. As the U.S. has recently started to struggle with automation, schools need to teach its students the foundational basics of computer science. Computer science does not only teach students how to operate a computer, but most importantly, students will also know how to be responsible with the way people build and use technology, thus avoiding issues such as automation. Most people who use technology today are most likely known to be passive users, simply because we are not educated enough on how we should use or operate technology. Unemployment itself continues to be an ongoing issue in the United States, as 4.9% of the working population are currently struggling to find work. In addition to unemployment, further automation will only encourage a higher unemployment rate, being that many jobs are lost to automation. So being that various solutions presented involve economic, occupational, and educational point of views, it is up to the government, workforce investors, along with the nation's educational system to determine the future of the United States workforce. And yeah, finished.
Okay, Gerald, what strategies did you use to evaluate the sources that you found in your research?
I mean, like, as I researched a lot of my sources, I made sure to like go through or like check. I made sure to go through the background of like the article's website, for example, or like the organization who presented these the evidence.
Okay. All right. And if you could give somebody, or if you, through your research, right, maybe other questions bubbled up. So if you could continue or extend your research project, what else would you look at?
I mean, if I were to extend this project, I wish I could find like a solution that has actually worked, for example, in the U.S. because automation being such like a recent crisis in the U.S., like I don't think there has been much like real life solutions that have actually worked for many employers.